pocket aces and now finds himself second in command.
One time!
But a new tropical storm could be brewing as Costa Rican businessman Eric Brenes and Tennessee's Patrick McMillan need to get out of the shade and onto the felt.
Now back to the two guys who don't ever want to go home, Mike Sexton and Vince Van Patten.
We are down to 4 players. The winner will take home $1 million. Right now, our chip leader, Lane Flack.
And the antes and blinds are going up. We're talking about a $10,000 ante, and the blinds are $40,000 and $80,000.
That means that every player puts $160,000 in every 4 deals, whether you play a hand or not.
And right now, it's going to be back on Lane Flack. He's got 8-6 of diamonds.
Where is it?
Now, the 8 high doesn't slow him down.
He is relentless. He is going up on this hand.
200K he fires out there.
Mike Manisau quickly folding into Patrick McMillan, who goes away.
Now around to Eric Brenes. He looks down at a 9-3 offsuit. Certainly not a hand that you want to see, but
It's been quiet all afternoon, almost invisible.
now he's looking down at Lane, wondering, are you stealing another pot? If I came over the top of you, could I take this pot away from you?
No.
And he lays it down.
You can't stop Lane Flack. He is end-running a human's body. Just a serial thief.
Well, Vince, there are players who will pillage a table by stealing blinds and antes. And our own Shauna Hyatt scoured the island, uncovering their ways in this week's WPT Poker Corner.
Pirates are known for stealing hidden treasures, but at the poker table, treasures are in plain sight in the form of blinds and antes. You just got to know how and when to steal them.
When it comes to stealing blinds and antes, it's something that you have to do.
You cannot survive in a tournament unless you steal.
The reason why stealing blinds and antes is so important is that as the blinds and antes go up,
And here we are, Vince, down to the battle of the blinds here.
it gets to a point where it starts costing you a tremendous amount of money per round.
Once the antes kick in, there's a lot of dead money in the pot. You got to steal your fair share. Otherwise, you're just going to blind yourself to death.
So what you need to do is take the opportunity when everybody folds to you and you're late in the action. You need to raise sometimes regardless of what you have.
She has 3 options. Get the heck out, call, or raise.
And she's going to raise it, Vince.
Oh, wow.
She is re-raising Kathy Liebert right here. Give Annie Duke credit there. She earned that pot, Vince, by re-raising Kathy Liebert with a...
Some of the great players like to steal blinds and antes from the very first or second position because when someone raises from one of those positions, you're supposed to have a hand.
On to Daniel Negreanu. Look at this. He's got a little suited connector, a 3 deuce of diamonds.
Well, here he comes, the 2 lowest cards in the deck. But look at this, Vince, what Gus has here.
He's got aces on the very first hand.
Well, Daniel's chuckling a little bit. He knows he's tried to sneak in there with the 2 lowest cards in the deck.
That's my good one. That's my good one.
Shows him the aces, got no action with him.
You don't want to raise up front because now you got to get through 8 hands. Whereas, 5, 6 people fold, now you only got to get through 3 or 4 hands. Doesn't even matter what your 2 cards are, you just got to raise it.
So essentially you just want to look at your table and kind of test the waters. Try out 2.5 times the big blind. If that doesn't work the next time, try 3 times the big blind and just sort of feel out your table and raise the smallest amount that scares them.
So now that you have your treasure map for stealing blinds and antes, beware the curse of bad timing.
Look at this. He's going all in with it.
All in.
What call?
Well, he gets quickly called here.
Of course he does.
It's 2 kings versus king 3 for Adam. Bad timing, as we say.
He has just stuck his finger in a light socket.
He is a huge underdog right now.
2 outer.
Can he do it?
River card.
No, he doesn't. And he is gone, Vince.
The fact is that if you never get your hand caught in the cookie jar, you're not playing good poker.
Well, every time you steal a pot now, Vince, another $160,000 you put in your stack.
And you watch the master, Lane Flack, go at it. What a crook. On Eric Brenes. Look at this. He's picked up a real hand. Pair of 10s wired.
Yeah. Raise. Very nice hand in a 4-handed game. He's going to raise it.
Why not?
Well, let's see how much Eric is going to bet here.
Very careful not to make any mistakes there with his hand.
He bets $240,000.
Now it's on Lane. He's got a 4 deuce. Throws it away.
Mike Manisau folds his hand.
Patrick's got a good starting hand. He's got ace jack.
He's gone all in with it.
And Eric quickly has called it.
Yes, he has. So we're going to have a race situation. It's 2 overcards versus an under pair. Patrick with the ace jack. Eric with the 2 10s. Well, good sportsmanship. They shake each other's hands. They know it's virtually a coin flip. The 210's a slight favorite. Patrick McMillan must win this pot, otherwise he'll be our 4th place finisher.
Let's see a flop. Flop comes up, ace, queen, 9. That is beautiful for Patrick. He's hit his pair of aces.
Notice how calm, cool, and collected he stays, though. He knows it's not over. Here he could catch a 10 or hit 2 runners to make a straight to beat him.
2 cards to come. Turn coming up.
Well, turn card is a 5, so right now, Eric Brennis must catch a 10. Otherwise, Patrick McMillan is going to double up and win a pot that's over $1.3 million.
Here comes the river.
It's a 6.
It holds up there.
Now he's double up. He's back up to over $1 million. And that's a good feeling, Vince.
How about gambling it up with the ace-jack?
Now notice the difference in Patrick when he wins an all-in pot and doubles up to stay alive as opposed to Mike Matusow. Patrick just tilted his head a little bit to the left, stays calm, cool, and collected. I like this kid's composure at the table, Vince.
Well, no one's ever confused those two. Very different personalities, of course. That's what makes poker great.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more exciting action from the World Poker Tour in just a moment.
One of the funny things that I found was that people are taking a really long time with every decision, and they're clearly looking down at like 7-deuce offsuit, and it's just a folding hand, because I think that they see that on TV. You know, I think my brother might be really responsible for that because he's really thoughtful when he gets to a final table. I'm going to tell him he has to start speeding it up on TV.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're playing No Limit Texas Hold'em Caribbean style.
Right here in Aruba at the beach, having a good time. Let's go back to the table. Eric Brennis taking a hit there. He is now, with that loss, our short stack.
Well, certainly we've seen his brother on the tour, finished runner-up in a World Poker Tour event. Eric trying to outdo him here, trying to capture this title.
He actually owns a farm in Costa Rica. And if he wins this tournament, he'll be able to buy some animals to go with it. Back on lane flack in this hand, he throws away 8-deuce.
Mike Matusow with 9-6 offsuit on the button.
I raise.
Look at this. He's going to raise it, Vince.
Oh, he is raising with nothing but imagination.
And it comes in for $200,000.
Into Patrick McMillan, who has Jack 5. He goes out.
Eric Brennis, who just lost that last pot, looks down to King 7 of diamonds. He's got $80,000 in the pot. Cost him another $120,000 to call.
Eric seriously considering this, Mike.
It looks like it, but I mean, if he plays it, he's almost going to be pot committed, Vince. He's only got about $500,000 in chips altogether.
Now, granted, this is not a very good starting hand. Now, his perception of this table has been very tight so far.
Well, he's going all in right here. He is going to do it.
Well, he's short stacked. He is going to put the test back on Mike. Now, Mike was just fooling around with his 9-6.
Pull the 200s in.
Even though he has a junky hand, he might have to call because of the odds. He's already invested.
Well, you're right, Vince. There's $800,000 in the pot. It's going to cost him $320,000 more to call.
Is this the Brennis tilt factor right here? You take one bad beat with the 10s, you come back and you maybe play a little too impatiently. We will see.
Wow, Mike Matusow lays that hand down. Vince, I'm surprised at that. He's getting over 2.5 to 1 odds on his money there.
He just didn't want to give the action, and then look at that look. Oh, that is anger just bottled up in one man.
Well, very surprising to me. He wouldn't put in another $300,000 and gamble there.
Good hand.
He could afford to make the call.
Well, he respects the tight play of Eric Brennis, who represents only strong hands. That's the psychology of this game.
Well, Mike Matusow going into a conservative mode there to lay that hand down. Earlier, he was gambling a lot more when he had short stacks. Now he could afford to make a call, and even if he lost, he had over $2 million, but he opted to throw his hand away.
But with that, now Lane Flack still in a comfortable lead. He has $3.6 million.
Yeah, action's on Lane. He folds.
He's tightened up all of a sudden.
And Mike Matusow picking up a hand here. 2 jacks he's got. He's going to bet $200,000. Notice it's the same size bet that he made when he had the 9-6 offsuit.
Well, he's got a real hand this time. Now it's on Patrick, who has an ace-8 offsuit.
Well, Patrick just saw Eric come over the top of Mike Matusow and pick up a pot.
I'm all in.
He's going to do the same thing with the ace high here.
He's gone all in with it.
Call.
Eric goes out. Mike quickly calls it, of course.
Yes, he does.
And Mike loving it.
He shows the 2 jacks. He knows he's the favorite to win this pot, a little over 2 to 1.
Pair of jacks versus ace 8. 5 cards to come.
Well, nearly $2 million in this pot. And Patrick McMillan must win it to stay alive in this tournament.
5 cards to come. Here we go.
Comes Queen 4 deuce.
No luck for Patrick so far.
Patrick still needs an ace. He could catch 2 runners to make a straight also to win the pot. But he needs help right now.
Here's the turn. It's a 9 of spades.
Well, that's the 9. So right now, Patrick McMillan from Knoxville, Tennessee must catch an ace to stay alive in this tournament.
I think it's a 6 of diamonds. I feel a 6 of diamonds.
$2 million in this pot.
Yeah,
Can he catch the bullet? No, he does not do it. 5 of diamonds comes off. Mike shoots his arms up in exuberation. Patrick shaking everybody's hands, wishing him well.
Well, that is going to do it for Patrick McMillan out of Tennessee. A great effort here this week.
Yes, baby!
The guy's been playing poker 4.5 years, and I'll tell you, I like the way he plays. I think we're going to be seeing more of Patrick McMillan in the future on the World Poker Tour.
This is only my second major tournament, and I don't never play online. I just play live poker.
Oh, cool.
And I enjoyed it, and I hope to play a lot more tournaments.
Well, we will be rooting for you.
Thank you.
You'll see us again.
He earns $170,000. He is our 4th place finisher here.
But Mike Matusow, a force to be reckoned with now.
What's the biggest comeback in World Poker Tour history?
Mike the Mouth speaks up once again. We are down to 3 in Aruba. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
8 right in the window.
I believe in my heart I'm one of the top 5 no limit hold'em players in the world. You know, there's a lot of good poker players, but there's a lot of these think they're great poker players that aren't great poker players. I believe in my heart I'm the best, you know, when I'm playing well.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We started this event with 647 players. We are down to 3.
Our chip leader still Lane Flack with $3.6 million in chips. Mike Matusow now in second chip position with $3.1 million in chips, and Eric Brennis with just under $1 million in third place.
WPT title at stake here in Aruba, and it's on Lane Flack, who looks down at an ace-3 this time off suit.
400.
And he's going to bet $400,000. Now this is a healthy bet here. Mike Matusow folds a king-jack. That's a hand he's played every time so far today.
And it's around to Eric Brennis, he's got a real hand. He's got a wired pair of deuces.
Well, it's a much better hand if you can raise it yourself with that hand, Vince, but he should recognize that even if he would come over the top, Lane is pot committed to play this hand. Uh-oh. He's flexing his muscles here.
Oh, look at this. He's going to go all in with it.
He's doing it.
You're probably okay.
Well, Lane's going to call it because he knows he's getting the right price to do so.
He is pot committed. So you got ace-3 against the pair of deuces.
2 overs.
2 overs.
Practically a coin flip.
So here we go. Eric Brennis must win this pot to stay alive, otherwise he'll be our third place finisher.
5 cards to come. $1 million to the winner.
If I didn't have 2 overs, I wouldn't call him.
Eric Brennis of the great Brennis poker family.
Well, Vince, I got to tell you, win or lose this pot, I'm not really crazy about this play by Eric Brennis. I mean, at best, he's in a coin flip situation. At worst, he could be a big underdog. But let's see what happens.
Here comes the flop. It's a king-7 fourth. So far, so good for Mr. Brennis.
Well, you're right about that. Right now, he's got to dodge an ace or a 3 or 2 runners where Lane makes a straight.
Any 3.
Let's see if he can do it.
Here's the turn card.
Well, it's a queen. So now we're down to the river card, and Lane must catch an ace or a 3 to win this pot.
Lane having to sweat this out. Here comes the river.
Well, it's a 5.
We're talking double up time.
You could say we're playing deuces wild here because they certainly won that pot for Eric there.
Why didn't you flop a set?
Lane looking like he has a little indigestion there. That stings a little bit.
Well, he knows Eric was gambling there with the 2 deuces, no question about that. At best, he could be even money to win the pot. At worst, a substantial underdog, but timing is everything, and certainly Eric's timing was right to play the deuces there. He has doubled up.
I'm looking at it too.
But what's interesting about that pot, Vince, is that Mike Matusow didn't even play it, but he becomes our chip leader because Lane went down in chips.
Back on the mouth, Mike Matusow. He's got ace-3 in his hand.
Same hand that Lane just lost the big pot on.
Raise.
He likes it. He raises it.
He's going to raise it to 200,000.
Eric looks down at Queen 9 offsuit.
He folds.
Lane's got Jack 6 of hearts.
I just can't help myself.
Well, Lane says, I can't help myself. He's calling here.
I figure if I play about 60 flops, I'll hit one.
Well, he's going to try to gamble here. See if it pays off for him. King 3 deuce.
Look at this. Lane Flack's going to take a shot at this. He's going to bet.
I don't trust myself.
Yep, leads right out and bets 160,000. Mike with the 2 threes is going to call him.
He's just got a piece of it. What an incredible quick call by Mike Manasow.
So off we go to the turn. And an 8 comes off. No help to either player.
300.
Now Lane Flack with absolutely nothing.
Oh, you got to respect this. He's going to bet it once again.
He is firing a second shell, as we say, on a stone bluff, folks. And he has put Mike Manasow to the test here, but look.
Matasow's going to make this call.
What a call right here by Mike Manasow. Folks, when a man bets on the flop and then bets again on the turn, and you're just looking at 2 threes, this is a tough call to make. Mike Manasow has made it.
Lane Flack looking absolutely ill right now. Here's the river.
Well, an ace comes off.
Makes matters worse for Lane. He's checked.
All in.
Mike Manasow moves all in. He's going to win this pot.
Clenches the fist. Mike Manasow playing just brilliantly right there.
Well, I'll tell you, I like the way both players played that pot. Lane not only fired 1 shell with a bluff, he fired 2. Mike Manasow looked him up, and folks, he may be loud and obnoxious, but I can tell you, that hand showed me tremendous poker instincts by Mike Manasow.
How was that card?
The guy has game.
Good card.
More poker coming from Aruba. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We are in Aruba for the Aruba Poker Classic. 3 players remain, one of whom is going to take home $1 million. And right now, our current chip leader is Mike Manasow with nearly $4 million in chips. Lane Flack has a little over $2.4 million. Eric Brennis with $1.2 million.
Antes and blinds have gone up. We're talking about a $15,000 ante, and the blinds being $60,000 and $120,000. And we got Lane Flack, a former winner on the World Poker Tour, going after his second title. This time he has 9-8 offsuit.
And folds.
Around to the mouth, Mike.
And he's picked up what we call the Doyle Brunson, a 10 deuce.
I raise.
And he's going to raise it.
He is going to speculate this with a raise.
Well, that'll make Doyle proud. 320,000 he bets.
Into Eric Brennis. But Eric Brennis has got ace-queen.
All in.
He's gone all in with it.
Yep, no fooling around. Moves all in for $1.2 million. Mike throws his cards away, and Eric picks up the pot.
Well, it goes to show you when the blinds get that big, well worth it to play fast. Eric knows that. Picks up a big hand and the pot.
Well, you're right. Every time you steal blinds and antes right now, you put another $225,000 in your stack. So poker has reached a serious level now.
What's the next level?
Third place finish, we'll get $250,000. Now it's on Lane Flack. He's got Queen Jack in his hand.
Let's see how he's going to play it.
And we have been joined by the beautiful bikini team here of Aruba. Always a nice attraction.
He's just going to call. He's limping in, as we say.
Now it's on Mike. Mike's got a dismal little 8-4 offsuit.
Well, he just saw Lane limp in.
Raise.
He's going to raise this pot here. He sensed weakness on Lane's part. He's going to try to take the pot away from him by re-raising here. Raises it $400,000 more.
Eric quickly going out with his 10-9.
Remember, Mike has 8-4 offsuit is all. But he's made it $400,000 more to Lane.
Back on Flack. He's got the Queen Jack. Look at this. He's going to call it.
Well, Lane's going to gamble with him.
To the sickness of Mike Manasow.
Well, you're right about that. He tried to steal it. Now let's see if we can get lucky and win it.
Here we go with the flop.
Well, flop is Queen 10-8.
That is nice for Lane. He's picked up a pair of queens.
Now Mike Manasow has bottom pair. He's got 2 8s. Lane has 2 queens and a straight draw.
Trouble lurking everywhere here in Aruba.
500,000.
Oh boy.
All in.
He said 500,000 before he could reach for his chip. Lane says all in.
Oh, he overlapped him. That's very insulting.
And very discouraging.
look at Mike's face. That is the face of an ulcer right there.
Well, I just can't see how you can call with bottom pair here. I mean, what could you beat? He was just trying to get cute. He was going to try to steal this pot from Lane.
Well, that's what you got to do in three-handed play. You got to be very aggressive this time. Lane calls it, and now he's got the man in a vice.
Just ask me.
What do you got?
You beat.
And the two foes are yapping it up, asking each other what you got.
So in the meantime, Mike Matusow has put over $1 million in this pot so far. Does he want to put the rest of his money in there? If he play this pot for all his chips and lose it, he would be out in third place.
Mike just shrinking before our very eyes. Just a game of humility, I tell you.
Folks, I think body language tells you something right there. You get a pretty good read on this guy.
And he throws it down.
He does lay it down.
Well, look at this. His buddy Lane is going to show him the hand to make him feel a little bit better, hopefully.
Good enough?
Good enough, Lane says. And it is good enough to take the chip lead away from Mike.
Oh, and look at this. Mike Matusow, absolutely devastated.
That pot with over $1.7 million in it.
I can't call it a big re-raise.
And you can see the concerned look on Mike Matusow's face right now. Why did I do that?
He's an emotional roller coaster before our very eyes.
And I can tell you, Vince, if he goes out third, even though he's won $250,000,
yeah,
call the lifeguards, because he'll be heading out to sea, believe me.
Well, right back into the action. Lane is the big chip leader. This time he has 7-4 diamonds.
He folds. And Mike Matusow with queen 9 here, trying to catch his breath from that million he just blew in the last pot. Opts to call here.
Into Eric Brennis, who's got an 8-6 unsuited. He's played the tightest of these guys all afternoon.
Well, he says, give us a flop.
He's not going to get aggressive with it.
So here we go. Mike Matusow with queen 9. Eric Brennis with 8-6. Here comes a flop. It comes queen 8-5. Mike Matusow's flop top pair. Eric Brennis' flop second pair.
And it's going to be on Mike first. Top pair paying off. He's going to bet it.
He leads out and bets $120,000.
Well, look at this. Eric Brennis has gone all in with just his 8s.
And Mike says, I call.
It has been called.
Come on, Mark.
And he loves it. He's out in front.
Well, you have to love it in this position. You've got top pair. Your opponent's got second pair. $2.5 million are going to be in this pot.
Now, interestingly enough, they've had about the same amount of chips.
Now, right now, Mike Matusow about a 4-1 favorite to win this pot. In great shape here.
This is the place you'll want to be. Sucker demand into this kind of bet. Here's the turn.
Well, the turn is a 3, so right now Eric Brennis must catch an 8 or a 6 to stay alive in this tournament.
It's a deuce of spades.
Can Mike Matusow dodge an 8 or a 6? If so, we'll be down to heads-up play.
Here comes the river.
Oh, a 6 comes off. Look at this. A draw out by Eric Brennis. He had to catch an 8 or a 6. He did it.
Oh, just devastating for Mike Matusow. He is in a state of shock right now.
Well, you can't blame him.
Never ends for me, does it?
Unbelievable draw out right there by Eric Brennis.
Never ends for me.
I mean, Mike Matusow played the hand as well as you can play it. Lady Luck wasn't on his side that time at the river.
That's incredible.
Just devastating for Mike Matusow. But don't forget, folks, with 4 players left, he hit a river card like that when he was a 10-1 underdog to win the pot. Same exact scenario here. This time,
Mike,
Eric Brennis.
You wanted to know what the biggest comeback in WPT history was. I guarantee you got a shot at doing that right now.
Just never ends, don't it?
It was right there in the fingertips for Mike Matusow, and bam! Lady Luck slams him down at the river.
I'll be all right.
Poor Mike.
This one will be tough to swallow.
Heart's out on his sleeve. He's all day long just playing phenomenal poker, bluffing his way. A couple suckouts here and there, but just brilliant play all the way through. He is a true poker savant. You watch the rise and the fall of Mike Matusow.
We've got more exciting action from Aruba. Don't go away.
He does it. Look at Allen. He's clapping. He's skipping. Look at this. Allen has won this championship.
Martin Dignave is our champion.
We've got the king of poker. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We are in Aruba. The trade winds are blowing and the cards are flying.
Well, right now, Lane Flack, the chip leader, with a little over $5 million in chips. Eric Brennis with over $2.5 million. And Mike Matusow with less than a big blind.
Well, the highs and lows of this man.
Well, he's got 2 sixes.
Yeah, he's got a little shot here.
So he throws his last money in the pot.
And around to Eric. Eric's got 7-4.
Now, Eric still has to call up to $120,000. He does so.
And Lane has 10-8. He's in as well.
Lane says, okay, give us a flop.
So it's a gang fight here up against Mike.
Now, these guys are going to create what's called a side pot here. They'll match the $75,000 that Mike put in the pot. The rest will go on the side. That one of those two will win, and they can continue betting.
Now, you probably heard about all you have to have is a chip in a chair. Well, don't believe it. A lot harder than that. But let's see if Mike Matusow could disprove that.
Well, right now he's got the best hand with 2 sixes. If they hold up, he stays alive. If not, he'll be in the grave.
Here comes the flop.
Now, flop is ace, queen, 7.
Not good for Mike because Eric Brennis has a pair of 7s.
And he checks.
Yeah, Lane and Eric both check. Can Mike hold on here?
Here we go to 4th Street. Well, a queen comes off. It goes check, check again.
Eric Brennis out in front with the 7s and queens.
Here comes the river card. Must be a 6 for Mike Matusow to stay alive.
And
it's
it is
not.
No.
Well, a 9 comes up. So it goes check, check. Eric Brennis is going to win this pot with queens and 7s.
And that's going to do it for Mike Matusow. He is our 3rd place finisher.
Well, there you have it, folks. Mike Matusow from Las Vegas out in 3rd place.
Just brilliant poker. You got to love the guy. I do. I think he's fantastic.
Waves of the crowd. Just devastated. You can see it. He really wanted to capture this title.
Never ends for me.
But don't feel so sorry for the guy. He's walking home with $250,000 in his pocket.
It's poker, and you played great. Beat
I
out.
wanted to win so bad, though. You know that.
I know.
Yeah, but to play, I believe I play this game as good or better than anybody in the world, and I put myself in position, and I just picked the wrong time to misplay a couple hands, and then once again I got unlucky. But hey, I'm all right.
Well, now you made it to a final table, and hopefully we see you at another one soon.
You'll see me at a lot of them.
Absolutely devastating. He is our 3rd place finisher, but we are down to 2 here, Mike.
That means it's time for the money presentation.
Oh, and look at this. Oh, that is Devilfish walking out of the water.
It is him, Vince.
And the water is just rolling off him. Oh.
Well, only the devil can dry off coming out of the water.
Freaky stuff before our very eyes.
See the Aruba bikini girls meeting him there on the beach, bringing in the cash.
Just wish I could be Devilfish for one day.
So here they come. Oh, Vince, you gotta love this now. Pretty girls with cash and the devil in tow.
Devilfish having won a World Poker Tour event a year ago. And here he is right back in Aruba, and here they come. Millions in the clamshell.
Well, this is what it's all about.
Straight Devilfish Elliott.
Devil is bringing out, wait a second, and look at this, he's got a little bit more.
Uh-oh, he's holding out on him. That's why he's called the devil. Now look at this. He said, go ahead, girls, frisk me, make sure I've got it all out.
And Lane's going to frisk him too.
Lane wanted to pat him down a little bit himself there.
That doesn't feel quite as good, but...
Wow, a beautiful bracelet, beautiful trophy, a pile of cash, $1.5 million on the table. Oh, it's beautiful down here in Aruba, Vince.
$1 million to the winner, 1 million clams, I might add.
Thank you. Big round of applause.
500,000 for the runner-up.
Thank you.
Well, we're about to get down to it. Will No Limit poker sensation Lane Flack capture his 2nd World Poker Tour title? Or will Eric Brennis, an online qualifier, parlay $27 into $1 million and a World Poker Tour title?
Lane Flack with close to $5 million to Eric Brennis is close to $2.8 million.
Well, Lane looks down at Queen 3 of spade. He opts to call.
Now back around to Eric. This time he has ace 4. Let's see if he gets aggressive with it.
No, he knocks the table here. So we're going to have a flop. Eric has ace 4. Lane with Queen 3 of spade.
So much riding right now. Here's our flop.
Flop is ace, ace 3.
Just tremendous there for Eric.
Well, he's flopped 3 aces, but Lane has flopped 2 pair.
And Eric's going to try to trap. He's checked it.
300.
And Lane's going to bite. He's bet it.
Yep, he's bet 300,000, but you can't blame Lane for betting here. You just can't put your opponent on an ace when he doesn't raise before the flop playing heads-up poker.
Oh, look at this. It's beautiful. Eric looking down, looking all concerned. Well, we know actually the Macarena is going off in the Costa Rican's head. Oh, he's just going to call it.
Well, you're right, Vance. Pretty good poker face he's showing here. He's going to call the 300,000.
Ever so gently. Potential devastation here for Lane Flack.
Well, Lane's seen this guy play cautious all day long, and now all of a sudden he calls 300,000.
Eric Brenes in a nice performance right now.
So here we go to the turn. A 7 comes off.
Oh, and Eric's going to check, but Lane's not going to bite this time.
Nope. Lane quickly checks right behind him with the 2 3s.
Here's the river.
It's an 8.
2 aces, 8-7 tray.
Well, action is on Eric Brenes.
Now what do you do? Come out of the jungle now for this bet? Check it. Lane would bite one more time.
Well, it looks to me like Eric is reaching for chips. You know, he checked it on the turn, hoping Lane would bite, but Lane didn't.
Don't forget, Lane has 2 pairs, aces and 3s.
And remember, his opponent didn't raise before the flop. Hard to put a guy on an ace in that situation.
Eric, like time is standing still right now. What's he going to do?
Looks like he's getting out some heavy artillery.
There's the bet.
I call.
He's done it. Well over $500,000. Lane quickly calls.
Yes, he did. What a mistake. Oh, he's going to pay this off, and that's going to hurt.
Well, it sure is. He lost about $880,000 in that pot.
All that acting worked for Eric.
Well, also the slow play before the flop, changing gears. He didn't raise before the flop with an ace in his hand. Hard for your opponent to put you on an ace, and it cost Lane Flack dearly there.
So that swings beautifully into Brenes' chip count right there. He is right back in this game in the heads-up competition.
Who will be WPT's next millionaire? Stay tuned to the World Poker Tour.
Where's the love? Vindication, baby!
Phil Gordon is getting frustrated here.
This guy's an amateur?
It is over.
What a play here.
Make it 200 more.
He's bet 300,000 here, Vince.
It's going to work.
It's a 3. It's over.
It is over. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour, the Aruba Poker Classic, as we surf into the heads-up action.
Well, with that pot, the players are pretty close to even now in chips. Lane Flack still with a slight chip lead.
A millionaire about to be crowned here on the World Poker Tour. Right now, it's going to be back on Lane Flack. This time looks down at an 8-6 offsuit. But that's not going to stop him. He's going to raise this.
Boy, and a heavy raise it is here, Vince, it looks like. 440,000 he bets.
440.
Just loves to gamble, put pressure on you.
Now, that's a very big raise, in my opinion.
Now Eric looks down to King, Queen of Spades.
That's a good hand playing heads-up poker.
Two-handed action, King, Queen. What to do?
Well, what's going through Eric's mind is, do I want to just call and see a flop? Do I want to come over the top of him? If I do, how much do I want to raise him? And right now, this decision can be everything to him.
Lane Flack quietly saying his Hail Marys, praying this man from Costa Rica will go away.
He looks back down at his cards here. You know, that's what he also might be thinking is, you know, I know this guy's one of the best no-limit players in the world. Do I really want to get involved in playing pots with him and let him outplay me along the way? Am I better off just to go ahead and gamble for it all?
Raise.
He says raise.
Eric's going to raise.
All in.
Oh,
He
boy.
comes over the top for all his chips.
It's tremendous pressure on Lane Flack, who has a junk hand of 8-6.
Well, Lane is virtually defenseless against an all-in bet. You can't outplay your opponent. You can't do anything. You can't call with 8 high.
And he concedes.
Well, I think Eric Brennis realizes the best chance for him to win this title is just go ahead and gamble for a big pot and try to win the tournament, not get involved with trying to play pots against Lane Flack. And quite frankly, I think it's a good approach for him.
Very crafty play by Eric. That is big-time gambling from the Costa Rican. He is now our chip leader.
But Lane still has plenty of chips, Vince. He's got over $3.5 million worth of chips. No time to panic. He's a pro.
But let's get back to the action on Lane Flack, who's very loose still.
Did you see those? Damn.
Well, he looks down at a pair of 9s.
Well, that's a strong hand.
A big hand, and he's going to raise it. 460,000 he bets.
Another stiff raise, but look at this. Eric right behind him. He's got a little pair of deuces again.
Well, remember, those deuces were very lucky for him the last time against Lane. Lane had the ace-3. Eric won the race to stay alive in the tournament.
But sometimes you think to yourself, you know what, this is kind of my lucky hand tonight. It could be destiny.
Well, how is he going to play these deuces? Is he going to call and see a flop? Is he going to throw them away? Or is he going to re-raise with them?
Well, that's very interesting because now he has a lot of chips. Started this hand with close to $4 million, so if he does go all in, you know, if Lane doesn't have much of a hand, it would be a very tough call to make. He would figure. Little does he know that Lane has a real hand. He's got the wired 9s.
Well, Lane's studying him intently, and if you look at Eric, looks like he has a look of concern on his face here to me.
All in. Oh, he's doing
He goes all in.
And Lane quickly calls it.
Lane read him like a book right there. He's called him without blinking an eye. It's 2 9s versus 2 deuces.
Lane is going to love this situation.
Well, you got to love it. Over $7 million in this pot. This is essentially the tournament, this hand right here. And Lane Flack, a dominating favorite to win the pot.
Waited for this kind of mistake by Eric Brennis, if you can call it a mistake.
Well, you just can't get your money in a better spot when you have an overpair against your opponent and all the money's in before the flop. That's as good as you can do it.
However, if Eric should get very lucky, and he would have to get very lucky, he would be the champion of this event.
Chip-wise?
Well, it's 2 9s versus 2 deuces. The last time, Eric got lucky and won a race situation. This time, he's up against a much stronger hand and overpair.
Look at Lane Flack's proud little daughter, Haley, in the audience, rooting her dad on. Lane Flack grew up in Montana. He used to deal at the casino there.
3.5.
Then he moved up and he played. He beat the game all the time, decided to go to Vegas, and he has never looked back. He is a WPT champion, and now he's going after his second title.
Well, remember how lucky Eric got against Mike Matusow just earlier at this final table when he caught a river card to stay alive.
And a 9.
This time, he's up against worse odds.
9 y 2 y 9.
Mr. Brent is not a professional. He is a farm owner down in Costa Rica. His brothers, famous poker players.
Can lightning strike twice?
Well, he would have to outdraw Picasso here if he should make this type of outdraw.
I mean, remember, the winner gets $1 million and the World Poker Tour title and the $25,000 entry into the WPT Championship. The runner-up gets $500,000. So you're literally watching a hand right now for $500,000 of real money.
All right, let's see the flop.
Here we go. Here comes the flop. The flop is ace-6-4.
And that is beautiful for Lane. He is out in front with the 9s.
So right now, Eric Brennis must catch a deuce or 2 running cards to make a straight. Otherwise, Lane Flack will win over a $7 million pot.
Whoa, easy.
2 cards to come. Lane Flack loving the
Yeah,
situation.
it's never easy.
Here comes our turn.
Oh no! Deuce comes off on the turn. Heartbreak for Lane Flack, and you see Eric Brennis' brother, Alex, jumping up and down for joy there. Oh, you just have to feel the pain for Lane Flack.
Just a ridiculous card on the turn. He caught his 3-of-a-kind once again.
Now it's not over. Lane could catch a 9 and re-outdraw him here.
Oh, but Lane is in very grave condition. Last card coming up. He needs a miracle. He is a sickened man. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Here it comes.
Well, it's a king. That's going to do it. Devastation for Lane Flack. He is not going to win that second World Poker Tour title tonight, even though it sure looked like he was going to when he had all that money in the pot with 2 nines against 2 deuces.
Just incredible. Lane Flack just banged out of this event. But Eric Brenes getting congratulated by half of Costa Rica.
But I'll tell you, Vince, you know, you're happy to see a guy get lucky and win a tournament, but as a poker player, you know the pain that you suffer. You just can't get your money in a better spot. And unfortunately for Lane Flack, Lady Luck did not smile on him this hand. The money and title is heading back to Costa Rica.
Pura vida, Costa Rica!
Before we talk to the champion of the Aruba Poker Classic, let's talk to our runner-up, Lane Flack. Well, Lane, you can't do any more than get your money in with the best hand. You certainly did it there. Lady Luck didn't shine on you, but congratulations for your runner-up performance this week.
Thanks a lot.
Lane Flack, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest no-limit hold'em players in the world. And now let's meet the champion of the Aruba Poker Classic from San Jose, Costa Rica, Eric Brenes. Because Eric doesn't speak English, his brother Alec is going to translate for us. Alec, certainly we saw the luck with the 2 deuces earlier. He doubled up. He won the tournament with him on the last hand. I have a feeling 2 deuces are going to be your brother's favorite hand from now on.
Yeah, I believe he got very lucky, but he played good. And when he had to make moves, he made. He deserved it. He's the best.
Well, certainly, we need to congratulate Eric. He got here by winning a $100 satellite, won this luxurious vacation, is taking home $1 million in cash. Congratulations, Eric, on your performance.
Thank you.
As is the custom on the World Poker Tour, it's now time to toast our champion with Michelob Amberbach, the official beer of the World Poker Tour. Here's to our champion from San Jose, Costa Rica, Eric Brenes. For Vince Van Patten, Shauna Hyatt, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live and your pots be monsters.